everyone, Maria Mitchell here. Thanks for joining me for another face painting tutorial. This Finding Nemo face paint may look like it could be hard, but really in fact it's just a few steps. So we're basically just dividing it up in sections. So we've got orange, 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 and then we fill in the gaps in with white. So get your paints out and let's get painting together. With a 1/2 inch flat brush loaded up with orange, painting on an upside down U, and on the opposite side of that we're going to do another upside down U. At the end of that brush stroke we're going to bring our brush flat and then flick it up, curving it out just a little bit more, as this will be the edge of the fish's face. Now joining the top two curves with a wiggly line up the top, filling that area in. Between the head and the dorsal fin we're just going to do a little stroke to the side and then commence doing a series of spikes up top. And from here we'll bring our brush flat and bringing it right down to curve, right down to the bottom. And about 1 centimetre away further down we'll do a little petal up and around, and then down the bottom, and then filling in the areas in between. For the fin, with the tip of the brush facing up, we're going to do a little petal, then flipping the brush over so the tip is facing downward. We'll fan it right out flatly and curve it around, and just fanning that out a little bit more. Doing a teardrop down on the diagonal with the tip of that brush. In the middle, doing a petal-like stroke to be the side fin. Missed a spot there, so just filling that in. Number 4 round brush with some white. I'm going to paint the eye closest to the edge of the face, being small and narrow, and position it where the cheek protrudes out. On the diagonal downwards, good to use your brush as a little indicator. Draw the eye on. It's going to be a little bit wider and a little bit thicker at the bottom. Now with that same number 4 round brush loaded up with the white, we're going to fill in the gaps between the orange. Noticing that the height of each stripe becomes smaller as we reach the tail. With a number 1 round brush loaded up with some white, we'll draw a smile, placing the smile closest to the large first stripe. Now with that same brush loaded up with some orange, we're just going to make some circles in the white area of the pupil, and then with a brown color loaded up on that same brush, we're going to do a swoop underneath the white of the smile and putting in the pupils. Now using a rake brush, which you can get at any face painting store, loaded up with some yellow, and flick the brush straight into the middle of the fish's body. And we're going to repeat the same at the tail. Now loading it up with that same orange that the body is painted with, we're going to go over the yellow with the orange to mix the two colors up to make a series of fine lines together, which will look beautifully. Now this is where we load up our black on our number 1 or number 2 round brush, and we're going to start outlining the white stripes of Nemo's body. Now we just want to outline the top of that top fin and continue it down to the middle fin, and then bring it down to curve like a C down to the bottom. And I'm sorry about the overexposure on this one, not sure what happened there, but we're making our brush strokes thicker as we get to the edge of that tail, and flicking your brush upward just to make some fine black lines. Now I just want to go over again the top fin, making that a little bit thicker. Now we're going to create some highlights by creating some shadows. I've just loaded this brush with some brown on the real watery side, and I've just taken off some excess onto my arm. So because the brush isn't completely loaded, it's more so on the watery side, it's going to make some subtle shadows. So just working your way around Nemo's head, just up the top to define the edge of his face. Now I'm just going to get rid of that excess orange, just using a baby wipe. Continuing just down the bottom of that fin, just making some shadows all around. Now we're going to create some bubbles. So draw some C's or some circles that don't quite join, and then putting some highlights in the middle. So a round circle and then a highlight up the top or on a diagonal. And now with this dotting tool, I'm just picking up some white and just adding some extra dots around the bubbles. And there you have it, a Finding Nemo design. You can just keep it simple without the highlights. It's quite effective. However, if you do have enough time, you can go ahead and use that watered up brush. I hope you enjoyed this. I'd love to see your version, so please tag me in your creations. Until next time, happy painting. Thanks for watching. If you got something out of this, make sure that you give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. If you have any face painting related questions or you need something that you need clarified, make sure you comment down below and I'll do my absolute best to share my knowledge with you in the next video. I'm on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Don't forget to follow me so we don't miss each other for the next one. Until next time, happy painting.